There's a big ball on the horizon, and it's only slightly less terrifying than the collapse of the planarverse. We are thankful for the guidance of Hell's #1 dad. Take a peek at some holes on this week's episode of Mercenaries in Retrograde.
We're just going to skip through dinner because it was just pleasantries and, getting to meet the rest of the staff and all that fun stuff.
It was really good dinner, though.
Oh, yeah, it was. You've never had this meal before? No one but Celeste has, because you guys are all from the primary plane. But it's like it tastes like chicken, but it's not chicken. It's like this weird beast that you can't remember the name of what it was. But they're native to this circle.
I'm smart. Are you sure I don't remember?
It was the dodo bird, I guess. I don't fucking know. I didn't think about this.
A dodo bird?
Yeah, you ate the dodos.
I
like that.
I feel like there's a lot of bone marrow happening. That's just a common, a fun common snack. And it's really cool.
That and black pudding too, with blood, 100%.
Isn't that just like a regular British food?
Yeah, but it's made with blood.
And British people are from hell.
We've been new.
I mean, you do have a British accent.
You know what? You know what? You got me there.
I did get you there. Yeah, it's a very good meal. And after dinner, you all have been escorted up to Asheroth's office because he's going to fill you in on pretty much everything that's been kind of going on. That you've been touring the house, and he didn't want to get in the way of that, but he wants you guys to start to be prepared. I think Celeste is the only one who came up here before.
Yes.
So as you guys file into his office, it's a nice little cozy space. You see there is a door behind where his desk and chair is. And the door has glass windows, and you can see that has direct access to the giant library that is within this house. And there's a few little desks, but not desks. There's a few little chairs and a coffee table that has some water already set down for you guys if you want some. And you're free to sit down. And he kind of moves to his desk and takes out some files and is kind of waiting for you all to get settled before he gets into the business.
Gulping down that water.
I think
chug it?
I don't chug it.
The way you said it sounded like you were just gulping it all down at once.
I'm a gentleman. I'm sipping it.
I'm also sipping it, but because I'm scared of Celeste's dad.
I think Celeste can see that her dad is kind of in business mode, and I think she automatically also goes into business mode. So she's sitting up very straight. She's got her water and everything, but she's zoned in. This isn't something that she has a ton of practice with, but she definitely before she left was starting to, go to meetings with councils and whatever. And so she's immediately clicked back into oh, this is business.
Yeah, you definitely recognize this on your father's face. Usually when you have talks in here, he keeps it a little bit more casual, but it's very much he's putting on his very practiced business front. You see he even adjusts his glasses, which is kind of a tell to you that he's getting into the zone.
I love him.
As he taps the files down on his desk before laying them flat. And he kind of turns to you all and is so there are holes that are being torn through hell. They're So the problem here, right, is that they are full of radiant energies, but they are not portals to Celestia. But when they rip open, they're like these big holes of dark matter. This like it looks like there's nothing there, and then nothing ever was there. They're just empty. Nobody has gone into these tears because we really don't know where they lead. But the tears have kind of their own, I don't want to say defense mechanism because I'm not sure if that's what it is, but creatures emerge from these holes in the plane. They're these spindly, humanoid, but slightly off-center. Like, for example, there's been some humanoids with very long fingers, some with necks that kind of are so long that the head kind of is tilted slightly. Yes, they're very unpleasant. But they don't have any distinguishing features beyond the silhouettes. They kind of have that same quality that the rips in the plane do, where it's just inky blackness where they stand.
Like weird kind of shadow creatures?
Yes, I would say something akin to that. We from our discoveries on them, we don't know or recognize them as any corrupted creatures. They don't seem like they are creatures from hell that have been altered. They don't seem like, honestly, creatures from the prime material plane either. They're something else entirely. They are able to be disposed of. Like we have teams that kind of go throughout. Well, right now we have teams that are keeping track of the rips that are here. There are 3 in total. The first one opened up in the 5th circle. That was the first one. It's been there for at least 3 months or so. Oh, I'm so sorry. 6 months ago was when that one happened. We heard about it about 3 months ago because Charles did not tell anyone about this. So that one is pretty bad. It's quite.
Sorry, a question for Mac. How
Yes.
long after I left was that?
Oh, that wasn't too long after that. How long were you out before the campaign started? It was only like a few months, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's like, it's like a few months after you left.
Okay, so I don't have any reason to believe this was my fault, right?
No, it's
Cool.
not your fault.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no.
And I do think Celeste also speaks up to ask. I'm sorry. Are they hostile? Are they hurting people?
So, yes and no. The main problem with them is that they rip into our plane and then they start to expand. So the one that is in the 5th circle, the one that has been there the longest, is kind of, I don't want to say consuming because that's not the proper word for it, but it is taking up space. It has demolished half of a building at this point. It's like when it tears open, it just starts to take the things don't even like fall into it. It's just when it gets to that point, everything that was there just is gone now.
So is it like tell me if I'm wrong. I am a medical person, but I'm also not. Is it like a virus?
No, I'm not an expert on the rips themselves. There are people in the 8th circle who kind of have a better grip on it. The 8th circle also does have a tear in it. It's the 5th, the 8th, and the 2nd have the tears at the moment.
We'll want to speak with the people who do know about these things as well. If be arranged.
That's kind of part of the reason the ball is going to be put on.
Okay.
I can go back to answering your questions in a second, but I'll explain this.
Yes, no, I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right. So what is happening to Hell is also happening to Celestia at the same time, only instead of it being quote-unquote powered by the radiant energy, it's powered by hellish energy that is ripping these tears through Celestia as well. So the ball is both for all of the lords of Hell and the King of Hell to be in one place so we can discuss how to handle this. And that's also a reason why I'm very grateful that you all came back, since you are kind of the only adventuring party from the Prime Interior Plane that has been in correspondence with us and has been dealing with planar energy mishaps. You guys are kind of like the best people to go to. So for that, it is great that you're back, because now you can help us with this front. We have a few teams that are out at the moment, surveying the tears at the moment, and there's also one or two teams, I don't remember how many they sent out, of people who are keeping track of all of the circles of hell to see if there's one going to open and see if they can stop it before it tears. So the ball itself is for us to all commune, and also for emissaries from Celestia to come join us so that we can have a civilized discussion about this, because obviously, Celeste, you know about the tensions between our two planes.
Yes.
We need to be very civil in this discussion because we do not need to start a war in the middle of all this. Only fun things. But yes, that is kind of in part why we are doing that. To answer more questions about the tears themselves, I wouldn't say it's like a virus. I guess in a way it could be, because it is hostile in the way that there are creatures that emerge from it. The creatures themselves they're dangerous, but we're able to handle them and subdue them. We can't really experiment on the bodies or do any analyses of where they might be from, because the corpses kind of dissipate. And they're hostile in the way that as they get larger and start taking up more space on our plane, bigger things emerge from it, and it's more dangerous the larger they are. Which is interesting, because it does not feel as though, at least I haven't encountered any of them, but from the meetings, I've been in multiple meetings about all of this. From what I've gained is the creatures themselves don't really have much sentience.
Interesting.
Like, they know how to fight and they know how to try to survive, but there's no like overarching goal that it feels like they have, which is why this whole thing is so concerning, because we, one, don't know how to close it, and two, they just want to fight. Yes, Simmon.
Okay, I got two thoughts. One thought is a question. What do the creatures do? And the other thought is sort of like this big picture thinking. So we got celestial creatures over here. We got hell creatures in Celestia. And we don't know what these things are connected to. What are the odds that whatever is puppeting these things, because clearly they're being puppeted, they're like bees being in one big hive mind, and the queen bee, what if their queen bee is just starting to make trouble between Hell and Celestia and start a war? Because we also got this prophecy that says if one of them falls, the other one's gonna fall. So war, falling, war. You seeing my picture?
I do see what you're picturing. However, I will answer your second question first, because that kind of has me going. It's not necessarily that something is putting it here, but the way that it is being done is it's not like an energy output that is being put here. Like, usually when there's some planar interactions, like if Celeste goes to the prime material plane, there's some planar input between the both of us. We get a little bit more prime material energy, and they get more hell energy, and it balances out as it should. But there is that exchange. What these tears are a void of the energy.
Just pure input.
Yes. Or I guess in this case, pure output. And the reason or at least we believe that it's not a separate plane is one, there's no energy, so it would be weird, or, and two, the fact that it is happening between both Hell and Celestia isn't necessarily the fact that it could be, a political machination, and more just the fact of the matter that our two planes are sister planes, so when one starts to collapse, so does the other. So we don't know if something happened to Celestia's energy that started to kick this into gear, or if it was something that happened with our energy that started to kick this into gear. But something happened which expedited the beginnings of the collapse of our two planes. And that instability is what is leading to this. And that instability is extremely crucial in figuring out where it came from so that we can start to try and stop more rips from forming. But again, we don't really know the nature of all of this, so we don't know how to get there.
Right.
Yes, this is a very, very concerning thing. It makes sense that the prophecy would say, if one of us falls, we both fall, because that is true. And it would also make a lot of sense if that prophecy then goes on to, detail the rest of total planar collapse. Because, unfortunately, that's where it feels like we are headed, which is not great.
Okay. Right. Is there, I suppose, any sort of plan of attack or direction that we have to go here?
So for right now, we are trying to learn the best that we can about these tears. Actually, give me one moment. And you see, he pulls out this little it looks like a hologram contraption, and he types some things into it and then flips it around for you guys to see. And it's an actual visual of one of the tears. This looks like Celeste, you would recognize this as the 8th circle of hell. It looks like an office building to the rest of you.
Yeah, it does.
That's beautiful.
And there's just this big voided hole in the middle. It looks like it has taken half of a cubicle and it completely taken over another cubicle. And there's caution tape completely around it, and you are able to see too the edges of this tear. It's not like a clean circle. It does look like there was a rip, a tear, even a slight when you burn paper and there's that outline that's that deep color. That's kind of what this looks like. It looks like it just started to just erode or burn away. That's kind of the best you can make out of what this looks like. And yeah, so he's we have, like I said earlier, we have multiple teams researching and trying to figure out the best way to stop it. There are 2 teams, 2 or 1, I'm not positive. Numbers change every day, but that are currently going throughout all of the circles, see where there might be things that pop. There's any patterns. Yes, Simmon.
Sorry, you can continue your thought. I just put my hand up so that you know that I have a thought and have simmering on it. You can continue.
All right. And trying to find patterns, trying to find anything that we can use to our advantage at the moment while we wait for the ball to come up. That's happening in a few I guess, a week or so from now, so that we all have the most information that we can. I know that from our negotiations between Celestia, they also have a team over there that has been taking care of things. It's a little bit more difficult there because the political structure is not built the same. They're not really hierarchical like we are. They kind of all have their own sort of circle, perhaps. I'm not sure what they call them over there. It's different, but there's not someone that they answer to overall. But we are both working on finding why things are happening. If you guys have any thoughts, like if anything weird has been happening beyond what you've already told us on the prime material plane, I'd love to know. Yes, Simmon, you have raised your hand even higher.
Yeah, because my thought is relevant to the question that you just asked. Here's a thought. Here's a concept. Another spaghetti noodle on the wall. Have we considered that? So planes disbalance in the planes. Energy where it's not supposed to be. Is it possible that it's just the amount of celestial energy that's in hell and the amount of hell energy that's in Celestia is actually just eroding the plane? Because that looks like there's a hole being burned in your office is what it looks like.
Yes, so I believe that is it has something to do with that. But nothing has happened in our plane, the sister planes of Hell and Celestia. Nothing has happened specifically in us that would begin the imbalance that would cause this. Which is why we believe there's an outside force that might have ticked one of us, which then, like, for example, if you were to take like a good chunk of hellish energy and put it somewhere else, we would take on more Celestia energy, right? And then they more hell energy, and then it'd be this push and pull. You look concerned, right?
Yeah,
yes?
I got a thought.
I think we're having the same thought, Simmon.
I'm sure we all having the same thought. If you're also having a thought, Algernon. We had a bit of an issue on the material plane with a Fey fella from the Feywild. Doing some funky, mysterious shit with. I'm so sorry. I forgot to put my sending stone on silent.
I'm getting text from Irvin.
What is meeting?
Yeah, I'd have to look over my notes, but I think he was doing something with moving energies around where they shouldn't go. If someone in the party or perhaps some mystical force watching over us all wants to confirm or deny this fact.
I was gonna say, if I am remembering correctly, and I don't really take notes, so please tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that he was taking, like, celestial... He was moving energies around. I wanted to say he was putting Fey energy into Celestia, and it was causing a major imbalance between all of the planes.
Can you just do me a...
Oh god.
We'll do a history check with advantage.
Okay, I'm intelligent.
With advantage? Okay.
Okay, that's a 17.
You know that he was 100% doing that. You also know that the reason he was able to do that is because you gave him Benvolio Ace's feather.
Yeah.
But it isn't my fault.
No, it kind of is your fault.
It's my fault. But it is my fault. I was given those beans.
See, Henry remembered this fact, but I wasn't sure if I was right or not.
No, I remembered this.
And you also remember that when you killed him, he had been more celestial than you recalled earlier in your time knowing him.
Yeah.
And to that note as well, when Astroth says, like, as you're like having these thoughts, Astroth said that the tear could have happened between 8 to 6 months ago in the fifth circle. You know that is also around the time that you gave the feather over.
Oh no! How do I tell Celeste's dad that this is my fault.
I'm honestly just so relieved it's not my fault. I thought it was gonna be me. I thought it was gonna be a me
No,
thing.
I knew it was gonna be
you
me.
thing. I'm good.
Algernon looks like that one meme where the guy's like sweating a little bit, and then it zooms over to his wife who's looking at him, and then it zooms back over to him, and he's like drenched in water.
Yeah, except the wife is Simmon and also Celeste, because Celeste is also starting to
Exactly.
Celeste and Simmon kind of just have that like slow turn to Algernon, who's just completely
Drenched in sweat.
Oh no,
and Luna's just
buddy.
sitting there like, I'm not following any of this, but that's okay.
My love, my light.
Oh, she's perfect.
Yeah. I think he just like takes out a pen and like writes some stuff down after you tell him that. That's good to know. Could definitely be the cause of the instability for sure. So that's good to know that it came from the celestial side of it. All right. Do you have any? This is going to be a weird thing to say, but do you have any evidence of this?
Hey, didn't he tat you? Algernon?
He did tat me.
That's our evidence.
And he turns to his daughter. Do you have blood? Is what I'm asking.
Of course. Yes.
From this creature.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Thank you. Can I have it?
Yes, absolutely. I hand over. I think I have like a couple vials of it.
Yeah.
I
just hand it
hand
over.
all of it over to him. Like
all of it? Cool.
yeah, if he doesn't need, I figure like if you don't end up using all of it or whatever, I will gladly take it back. But as much as you need, of course, yes.
I feel like we should have at least one vial.
You raised me well. Of course, I took blood from it.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if you forgot. I don't know. You've got a lot going on. Yeah, and he has like a little holder for vials on his desk, and he just puts the blood in one of those. And
Fuck! I still have my Fey resin. You want? I got resin that could contact him. Do you want that?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Yeah, it's not the only one I have, so I'm gonna. Yeah.
I got a nail gun that might have goop on it. That's about it.
I forgot you.
I was dead. I died for a little bit when we were finding this guy. That's why I don't got much, blood or anything like that.
Briefly.
Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate.
Fine.
You want me?
Yeah. What? Do I want you?
Well, he killed me. I don't know if there's anything weird about me now that you'd want to.
Simmons, no. You're all right. You don't need to go become an experiment. You're fine.
All right, awesome.
And also, just so you know, if I want your soul, that's a bad thing. You've done a bad thing if I want it. So you want to make sure that I don't want your soul. Okay.
Well, speaking of doing bad things,
Algernon.
Oh, did you kill someone? I don't know. What are you talking about? I'm not confession. I don't.
Oh.
I mean, I was just gonna say, there was a point in time where I might have given this Fae. So I was raised in a temple casino to Farron, goddess. She's like my mom, and she has a lot of kids that grew up, and they're like my siblings. So I might have given one of my brother's feathers to this Fae a while ago, and then all like 5 to 8 months ago, and everything started going downhill from there. I feel like that's important for you to note.
That is definitely important for me to note. Do you remember which brother this was?
Fuck, Benvolio. I almost said Montgomery. That is my father.
Benjamin.
No.
Yeah, you see, like, he pauses for a second, and he reaches into a filing cabinet and like goes through some paperwork for a second just to like refresh his memory. If you guys want to do a perception check, you can see if you can see what he's reading.
That's gonna be a 30.
Well, I got a 0, so
30 and 0. What a beautiful combo to have.
The two opposite ends of the spectrum. The autism spectrum.
the opposite spectrum.
And I'm a solid 12 right in the middle.
Nice middle ground. Yeah, it's not that hard to see. He's not necessarily trying to hide it or anything, but Simmon, you're not able to see it. You're too lost in your mind palace. Algernon and Celeste, you're able to see that he is actually looking at old like political documents. That's like newspaper stuff and like just vague things of like import from Celestia history. And you actually see that he has open the basically like a news article talking about how Benvolio was excommunicated for Celestia for the things he's done. Which you remember he told you guys about when Kai went missing into the Shadowfell.
I don't remember that at all, but I'm glad Celeste does.
Yes, you
I
remember that.
that.
He told
Okay,
you that
cool.
he killed a bunch of people, and that's why he's no longer. That's why he's an Asmar, not a actual angel,
Oh,
because he's on probation.
buddy.
Yeah,
He's my best friend.
yeah. So like from like this, and just like your dad, he was probably like, "Oh, that name sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?" And went back through his political machinations of Celestia folder. And it's like, yes, this boy. I remember this boy.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. But yeah, he's like, all right. Well, that's also good to know. We will see if people from Farron's court will come down. Part of the emissaries, then. That's good to know. Trying to think if we have any other information at the moment that I can give you. Yeah, also to the thing about the creatures that emerge from this, it's not like they are coming from another plane. It's more like they are spawned from this nothingness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. If it gets deemed safe, we are going to try and do tests on the material that appears when the plane rips. But for right now, it is too risky to, get close to it. So
Right.
I certainly want to mess with that.
I got a thought. I
This
mean,
is
Mhm.
the place.
I
This is the
died.
place for them.
Yeah, I have a familia. I can make his senses my senses, and then if he dies, he just goes in a little pocket, and I can bring him back. So I could put my little guy into the void.
Are you all right with the implications that it might eat that spell from you, and you'll never be able to cast it again?
Hello?
It's eating away at the magical reality of a plane. I don't know why you think it wouldn't eat away at your magic.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't think about the fact that it would just control alt delete rip pages from my spell book.
I don't know what it can do, but I'm going towards the side
Okay.
of caution.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Riddle me this. If it takes it from my wizard spell book, what if I relearn it but through my warlock pact? Could that bypass? Could I hack my way back into familiar having?
I don't know.
I'd be willing to test that hypothesis. I would be willing, in the name of science, I would be willing to test that hypothesis.
If you want to put your well-being on the line, I'm sure.
Oh, well, why'd you have to phrase it like that? Because now if I continue to say yes, Algernon's gonna be real upset.
But that's what you are doing. You're putting your magic in the mouth of an alligator and asking it not to bite.
This was me thinking that I was being a good boy and not putting myself on the line, because initially, maybe like a couple months ago, I would have said put me in the portal, and I thought this was gonna be like a better version of that.
And we are proud of you for the progress you've made.
Thank you.
Yes, extremely.
But
Celeste,
please
Algernon, what
don't.
is your passive perception?
22.
15.
He makes a note on his papers that says, "You know what? See if Lynn has any openings for this boy."
Can I make eye contact with my dad as he looks up from that note? I'd make eye contact and just like nod a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. He just nods back.
Yeah,
and then he does.
We all have a
back.
knowing look.
He does turn back to you, Simmon. And his expression has softened a little bit more. He's no longer fully just in business. And he's like, "Son, I don't know how to tell you this, but your magic is an extension of your being.
Damn.
It's not just a tool. It is a tool, but it's a tool in the same way that your hands are."
I think. Unless, do we have any contraptions down here? Cameras exist upstairs, right?
Yes, your sending stones have cameras.
Are you describing the material plane as
Yes, he is.
upstairs?
Yes,
I
he is.
hate that.
I think it's really funny.
You have a sending stone, which has a camera.
Yeah, right. Okay, do you have anything with like cameras down here? Like maybe we send like a little thing with a camera in there that's not alive and connected to my magic. Is that an option?
We have cameras, but we don't have anything that we can send down that won't be magical. If you can make a contraption, but I didn't think that was in your wheelhouse.
I've made contraptions.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we can attach a camera to an arrow and I can shoot it in there.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I would like to say I just helped a little bit, so I feel like
You
it should be a
did.
flat roll.
No, I did something real stupid. I accept my disadvantage. 12.
You say that I've made contraptions before, and you are looking at this man who is a very powerful man and knows a lot of things, and you have the recognition in his eyes that he knows what you made before and he knows what happened to it. He knows that you had a little bit of
We all live in a yellow submarine.
a little bit of a billionaire moment.
Not the billionaire moment.
And he's like, I mean, I don't know how helpful it would be, but you are welcome to make it.
Yeah.
I just think that would be a waste of your time and energy.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Frustratingly so. It sounds like perhaps the best we can do at the moment is wait for, everyone to be gathered in the same place so we can share information and things like that. And, we can try to learn about it as much as we can in the meantime, but I don't think that taking big swings like that is really the best idea. And I don't like that at all, because I'd like to get started on something, but it might be our only option.
Unfortunately, my dear, you are correct. We don't really have any other thing to do but to wait. But we're not waiting and idling. You all need to, well, unless you already have training in, proper etiquette for the ball. But your friends do not. So we do have to go through that, just so, no, nothing happens.
I know that. They need help.
Yes. And then maybe if you can sit in for like the first one, just get a little bit of a refresher. I'm sure you already remember it all, but make your friends a little bit more comfortable. And then I think it'd be good for us to have some more one-on-ones, because we're going to be dealing more with the political aspect of all of this. So, actually, you might have to meet with Arias, because I'm not coming with you all to the ball. I'm going to stay here to make sure nothing bad happens to our circle while the meeting at the Ninth Circle is going down. It's standard protocol throughout all of the plane at the moment. Most of the second in commands are staying behind, so the lords themselves can go.
Of course, yes. Celeste looks like visibly disheartened, but she's trying so hard not to show it. Because she's still trying to be in like professional business mode. It's like, my dad's not coming.
Yeah, you see, he's also a little bit upset that he's not able to go, but he understands the reasons why he cannot. Mostly because he knows that Arias he doesn't get anxious, but he gets awkward when he's alone. So he says stuff that's
I'm gonna have to make sure. I'm gonna be running around making sure that everyone is not making a fool of themselves.
A little bit, but he'll be fine. That's why you two are. That's why he's basically gonna have you meet with him so that you guys could be a united front on this one.
Perfect.
You also know, just from the way the politics of hell works, your voice is a little bit more powerful than even Asheroth's voice, because you are the direct inheritor of the fourth circle. So it is a strategic move to send you instead of him.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Celeste doesn't like it. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did someone say you're also baby girl?
Yeah, that was me.
You are also baby
girl. Everyone loves you also.
That's so true, actually. Yeah, no, they do love me here.
Except for Charles, but Charles is a dick.
Okay, well, no one likes Charles.
Charles? Who the fuck is Charles? I've heard that name once, but now already.
Yeah, I will. We'll get into that. If you guys don't have any other questions.
You heard the name Charles when he was like, there was a fucking void for 3 months, and Charles didn't tell us about it.
Yeah. Who the fuck is this Charles guy?
Nobody likes Charles. You'll meet him.
He's not the hot dilf, right? Please.
No.
Okay, good.
Charles would never be a dilf.
No, he's not a dilf. He's a little shit. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions for him, he's all right to send you all.
Nothing now. Simmons being confronted with the reality of having to do
so true.
Etiquette lessons.
Etiquette, I see. All right. Those will probably start tomorrow because it is nighttime. You just had dinner.
Yeah.
As you guys are kind of heading out of his office, he writes down some notes and then snaps his fingers and they light a flame and disappear. Celeste, you would know this is how your house kind of does not sending, but more message, but they are physical written out messages that kind of appear in people's rooms.
That's so fun.
Yeah, they are.
You just told Lynn about what we did.
Maybe. You don't know what he did.
You're gonna love Lynn. She's the best.
I'm just gonna be standing that emoji.
Yeah, and you guys can all regroup together in one of the common spaces, or if you guys want to have a little sleepover moment, you can kind of have that and debrief. Wherever you guys would like to go, you are free to go.
Sleepover.
Sleepover.
I mean, we can, if everybody wants
Unless
to have a sleepover,
Celeste doesn't want to have a sleepover.
No, I was like, if everybody wants to have a sleepover, we can have a sleepover in my room.
Yay!
We can have a sleepover in my room. Celeste has already given up on. She was very much like, okay, we don't need to focus on this. But then they already were like, are you good? So she's already like, whatever. Yeah, come have a sleepover in my room, I guess. Just don't
Yeah.
go through my stuff.